Good morning, student. Today in theme 9, we will discuss about the painted images, then the Akbarnama and the Bashanama. Now the painted images. Artists from the Iran also made their way to Mughal India. Some were brought to the Mughal court, as in the case of the Mir Sayyid Ali and the Abbas Samad, who were made to accompany Emperor Humayun to Delhi. So we see that many artists from the Iran, they were came in the Mughal Darbar, okay, and someone like as the Mir Sayyid Ali and the Abbas Samad, they were also accompany the Emperor Humayun to Delhi. Others migrated in search of opportunities to win patronage and the prestige. And some artists on that time, they were also migrated for the another, for searching the opportunities for the jobs, like, okay, and to wanted to win the patronage means the dan, okay, alms, from the king, and the prestige. A conflict between the emperor and the spokesman of the orthodox. On that time, the Muslim orthodox opinion on the question of the visual representation of living being was a source of tension at the Mughal court, because the orthodox Muslims, they were against the visual representation of the human beings. They believe that this visual representation of the human being, that was against their religion. Akbar's court historians Abul Fazl cites the emperor as saying there are many that hate painting. These are the wording of Abul Fazl, that on that time many people, they were hated the painting, but such men I dislike. It appears to me that the artist has a unique way of recognizing God when he must come to feel that he cannot bestow life on his work. Okay, so here the Abul Fazl with his own that one this one is his own wording. Okay, and he tries to say that everything, the some artists, they had their unique way to recognizing or worship the god. So then, but I dislike that people, those who hated the painting. These here you see in this picture, the Mughal painting. Okay, now we discuss about the Akbarnama and the Bashanama. Among the important illustrated Mughal chronicles, the Akbarnama and the Bashanama, these were the chronicles of a king, are the most well known. Each manuscript contained an average of 150 full or double page painting of battles, siege, then hunts, building construction, court scene, etc. So in both chronicles, we also saw the paintings of all these. The other of the Akbarnama, Abul Fazl grew up in the Mughal capital of Agra. He was widely read in the Arabic, Persian, Greek philosophy, and the Sufism. And moreover, he was a forceful debater and independent thinker who consistently opposed the views of the conservative ulemas. So again, here we see that Abul Fazl, he was against the views of the or the opposition of the ulemas. And then these qualities impressed the Akbar, who found Abul Fazl ideally suited as an advisor and spokesperson of his policies. Then Akbar was too much impressed with the qualities of the Abul Fazl, okay, and he also appointed as an advisor and the spokesperson for his policies. And one major objective of the emperor was to free the state. State means that the whole country, the free the state from the control of the religious orthodoxy. And in his role as court historian, Abul Fazl both shaped and articulated the ideas associated with the reign of Akbar. Now, Akbarnama, beginning in the 1589, Abul Fazl worked on the Akbarnama for 13 years, repeatedly revising the draft. So, he worked for the 13 years continuously and revising the draft of the Akbarnama. The chronicle is based on a range of sources, including the actual records of the events, then official documents, oral testimonies of knowledgeable persons. So these were the main sources. With the help of these sources, Abul Fazl wrote that Akbarnama. Akbarnama is divided into the three books, in which the first two are the chronicles, and the third book is the Aine Akbari. So this Akbarnama had the as the three volumes, if we are saying that. The first volume contains the history of mankind from Adam to one celestial cycle of the Akbar's life of 30 years. So in the first book, he wrote about the Akbar up to the age of 30 years. Then in the second volume closes to the 46th regnal years 1601 of the Akbar. In the second volume, he also wrote about their how he expanded his empire. Then the very next year, Abul Fazl fell victim to a conspiracy hatched by Prince Salim and was murdered by his accomplice Bir Singh Bundela. So then, with the help of the Bir Singh Bundela, uh, Prince Salim, because he didn't like the Abul Fazl, so within a conspiracy, the Abul Fazl was died. Akbarnama was written to provide a detailed description of the Akbar reign in the traditional diachronic sense of the recording politically significant events across time, as well as in the more novel sense of giving a synchronic pictures of all aspects of the Akbar Empire, maybe the geographic, social, administrative, cultural, without reference to the chronology. So then all the aspects that were related to the Akbar we see in the Akbarnama. In the Aine Akbari, the last volume of this Akbarnama, Aine Akbari, the Mughal Empire is presented as having a diverse population consisting of the Hindus, Jain, Buddhists, and Muslims, and a composite culture. It means in this Aine Akbari, he shows that maybe the different type of the people lived in this in the reign or the empire of the Akbar, but all they were unite on that time. Abul Fazl wrote in language that was ornate. Ornate means alankarit, and which attached importance of diction and the rhythm, as texts were often read aloud. And this Indo-Persian style was patronized at court, and there were a large number of the writers who wanted to write like the Abul Fazl. So everything which he wrote in the Akbarnama, that was very fantastic, and maybe the language or the way he wrote and the in the rhythms, okay, and the when the text was read aloud, okay, so then all the things were too much fascinating in this volume. Now we discuss about the Bashanama, a pupil of Abul Fazl. Abdul Hamid Lahori is known as the author of the Bashanama. So this line is very important for 1 mark, that who wrote the Bashanama. Okay, so then Abdul Hamid Lahori. Emperor Shah Jahan, hearing of his talents, and commissioned him to write a history of his reign modeled on the Akbarnama. So like as the Akbarnama, he appointed the Abdul Hamid that you have to write down like the same history book of this Akbarnama on him. And the Bashanama is the official history in 3 volumes. Daftar, that one called the Daftars, of 10 lunar year each. So then in each volume, we saw the history of 10 years. Lahori wrote the first and the second draft, comprising the first 2 decades of the emperor rule from 1627 to 47. These volumes were late revised by the Sadullah Khan, Shah Jahan's Wazir. Now the infirmities of old age prevented Lahori from proceeding with the 3rd decade, which was then chronicled by the historian Waris. So because the Lahori didn't completed the 3rd decade or the 3rd daftars or the volume, so that was completed, that chronicle was completed by the historian Waris. Okay, student. In next video, we will start our next topic. Thank you.